Hello everyone, this is Devonna Watson from TV 35. I'm in studio today with Miss Breanna Smith and Miss Brenda Smith, the co-director as well as the coach and choreographer for the Miss Black Dublin pageant. Ladies, how are we today?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm all right, thank you. Now, you ladies have been working together on this pageant as mother and daughter for some time now. So how was it this past year for you girls?
It was very exciting for me. I'm always glad to have my daughter by my side. She brings the elements that I like, dance and choreography, things of that nature. So her presence only strengthens our pageant.
Mm-hmm. And as a veteran yourself, Miss Breanna, how was it different for you compared to not only when you competed, but as well as years further on when you helped girls, compete?
Well, I competed back in 2010, so it was a much different experience. We kept the same core categories in the pageant, so that is pretty consistent. As far as the opening numbers and the transitions of different scenes, under my leadership, it has been a little bit more trendy, of course, given the youth. We wanted to bring more youth to the pageant and encourage girls to get out of their comfort zones with speaking and dancing, like she stated. So each year is different. I enjoy having a different group of girls, different personalities, different backgrounds. I think that's the best part of it.
Mm-hmm. Bringing all those differences and bringing it together to create one awesome show, might I say. And now tell me a little bit about the sponsors. You ladies are kind of working behind the scenes as the pageant is being brought forward. Tell me about the others we have working behind the scenes with you girls.
Our main person is the coordinator for our judges, and that's my sister, Carol Edwards. During the pageant process, we really do not communicate because in our pageant we do our very best to be impartial. Breanna and I work for the girls. So we let them know that from day one, our job is to get you ready to shine for those judges. So my sister does an awesome job in recruiting judges that we have not used previously, and she also makes it her business not to let me know who will be judging that night. As far as the pageant, the thing that has changed most is that it is a scholarship pageant. And as sponsors, the community, the city of Dublin, and just so many benefactors are involved with this scholarship program.
Mm-hmm. And how do you think with the program, an opportunity like this for so many young girls being able to compete and have fun and to get a little extra sum to help them with their scholarships as well as their careers in the future, how is that for you ladies, being able to see them sometimes come from being in a little shell to being able to be fabulous on that stage?
I believe that's the best part of the pageant, watching girls bloom into their true selves. Some of them wouldn't ever even compete in the pageant. This would be their first opportunity competing on a large platform in front of an audience, personal interviews, just building those different characteristics that you're going to need to carry on in life. And watching that come to fruition on pageant day, it's amazing to watch. We always have girls that surprise us. They're quiet the entire time that we're practicing, rehearsing, never have questions, and then pageant day they're a superstar. So it's a process, but it's well worth it. And I also think it's important for our community to have a scholarship opportunity for the young ladies in our community.
Mm-hmm. And I certainly agree. And being able to see them, make that transition, I myself have seen it before, just go from someone who didn't, like you said, didn't really talk to being able to come out on the stage and just own it. It's truly amazing. And you really see empowerment and girls becoming more comfortable in their skin. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes.
I think I'd like to mention a young lady from our pageant last year who also competed in 2018. She's a prime example of what Breanna is referring to, Summer Lovelace. She is our second runner-up this year. She's also a sophomore. Summer competed when she was a freshman. Summer left the stage in tears. She did not complete the entire competition. And when she came back in 2019, she was a totally different person. So we saw a flower bloom not only in front of our eyes, but in front of about 100 other persons' eyes as well.
And that truly is amazing, being able to see them come back. And like you said, and it seems like she took what she learned from her past time and brought it with her the next time and was able to put it on full display.
Right.
And what's something that you always hope with every year that girls take away from being a part of your pageant?
I think one thing that I really want them to be able to take away is the fact that they enjoyed the pageant. And it was a good experience for them, a learning experience, a confidence builder. You?
For me, I have to say, while I'm working with the girls throughout the summer and prior to the summer, I see them pretty much majority of the year, at least 3/4 of the year. I just like to keep reminding them that these are social skills, public speaking, interview skills, being able to get in front of a large crowd. All of these things you're going to need in life to further yourself in life. So I like to just continue to remind them that this is a pageant. It's here for fun, development, socially, making sure that you're bonding with your sisters in the community as well. But you also want to make sure that you're taking advantage of the detail that we're putting into the program, that you're learning how to communicate. Even if you do not necessarily go off to school, if you have a trade, if you're going to go into the working field, you're going to need those public speaking skills. You're going to need those interview skills. You're going to need those person-to-person skills. And just like our queens, they go out in the community, they speak, they present their talents and things of that nature. So I think it develops you well beyond the pageant industry. So that's something I want to just continue to remind them, that we're developing you as young women, not just pageant contestants.
Right. And I love that. And you're definitely at a very proven point of being more than just a queen. You're actually a woman. You're taking these skills with you throughout life. And, you know, besides the crown and the sash, there's more than that. It's a title they're holding. And I know you guys in the past have had your queens as well as your first runner-ups go out and, you know, be seen at certain events as well as cater and help out. With COVID-19 coming out, has that stopped you guys in any sort of way, or how have you accommodated to this?
Yes, it definitely stopped our agenda. For one thing, one of the largest parades that we look forward to showcasing our young ladies was postponed, and that was the St. Patrick's Parade. Because of the shelter in place, we were not able to leave our homes. So a lot of obligations that we had planned for the queens, we were unable to fulfill. But we are still looking for things, because our next pageant is scheduled for September 26th. And at this point, we aren't sure that we will be doing a pageant. So COVID is driving everything.
COVID has definitely driven a lot of things, but I really hope that in the future, sometime soon, we are able to see you guys again, because I really love the pageant, you know, being able to participate in it myself. I definitely feel like it is a definite character builder for girls, you know, taking their skills that they learn from, you know, just having fun into the real world. It truly is amazing.
Yes.
But thank you ladies so much for stopping to speak with me, and we'll take a short little break and we'll be able to speak to our queen in just a moment.
Visit Cullen Supply and Engine Service, 910 East Jackson Street in Dublin and 826 Harris Street, Sandersville.
First Lawrence Bank invites you to experience banking at its best. Whether you have personal or business needs, we're a full-service bank, big enough to handle all of your banking needs and small enough to provide you with that personal touch you've grown to expect from a community bank like First Lawrence Bank. Looking forward to your future? That's First Lawrence Bank in Dublin and Dexter. Member FDIC.
Hello everyone, I'm Devonna Watson and I'm back here with Miss Taylor Mainor, our 2019 Miss Black Dublin Queen. How are you today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm all right, thank you. And girl, I love this dress. I love the whole outfit we got going on. Yes.
Thank you.
And now tell me, Taylor, you were a senior at Dublin High School, correct?
Yes.
You've graduated?
Yeah, we unofficially graduated because of COVID, but July 18th we graduate officially, I guess.
Okay. And now tell me, how was that transition for you going from going to school, sitting in the classroom and learning to your classroom becoming your living room?
It was very different. I hate that our senior year got cut short, but although it did, I feel proud of my classmates and myself for our accomplishments that we were able to accomplish while the school year was in.
Mm-hmm. And now, you told me you were in tennis as well, right? Well,
Yes,
what
ma'am.
were your accomplishments, not only, inside the classroom, but as well as outside the classroom?
Outside the classroom, I was the president of Beta Club. I was an attorney for the teen court, Dublin Lawrence teen court. I was also an instructor for Dance Art Studio. I also dance. A lot of things I was involved in. I was first singles for the Dublin tennis team. So I was just involved in a lot of aspects of the community as well.
That's awesome. You've got the smarts as well as in class too, because you were the salutatorian, correct?
I was, yes ma'am.
All right. And how was that for you when you found out?
I was proud of myself and I was excited that all my hard work and discipline actually paid off.
Mm-hmm. It's nice to see it coming all into fruition. And now, whenever, COVID first hit, of course, you guys were just kind of like, oh man, this is our senior year. But you said in July you will have a chance to have your graduation. How is that going to work for everybody?
The graduation will begin at 8:30 in the morning, so that will be different as well. But we were, all families will get 4 tickets to participate in the graduation, but I think everything should flow the same as it would for regular graduation, minus like all the extra people.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the only difference, really.
All right. And you'll still be able to say a speech, right?
I will.
Awesome. Now, let's jump into that beautiful crown and sash and all these wonderful trophies we got around us. So, this was your first pageant, correct?
It was my first pageant.
Your first pageant, and you won. Wow. So,
Yes, ma'am.
you got to tell me, you never thought you'd do a pageant, did you?
I never thought I'd participate in a pageant.
Mm-hmm.
I never took interest in pageants or anything like that. But after seeing my sister participate in 2017, I think, she kind of motivated me to participate.
Okay. So, you just kind of followed in her footsteps. You're like, okay,
did.
so maybe I can do this too.
I did.
So, what did you enjoy the most? Like you said, you never thought you'd do it, but, you have fun too, right?
What I enjoyed most was participating with other girls in the community, getting to know other girls like me, sharing common interests. I also enjoyed developing as a young woman and being able to obtain different skills that I could take with me throughout my life.
Awesome. And now you've been able to, use these skills not only, in the, in the community, but how have they really helped you develop as a woman, like you said?
I feel like the public speaking, that has helped a lot. Being able to give back to the community, talk to other young girls, as an instructor, teaching them things that I've learned from the pageant. And as I take the toll on my college career, I think that would also play a huge part in my life.
Right. And now you've won several awards, and let me see if I can name them all. You not only won Queen for Miss Black Dublin 2019, but you also received the, let me say this name right, Mae Thomasiner Dudley Pearson Black Heritage Award 2019. You got the Women on the Move Academic Scholarship Award 2019, and you also received the Brenda Smith Directors Award of 2019. Girl, you racked up a lot of awards.
I did.
And how was that for you? Did you expect some of these awards, or did you kind of say, hey?
When the pageant actually happened, it's like, it's not like a blackout, but it's like, oh, this is real now. So I wasn't kind of expecting anything. I was just really focused on doing my best and having fun at the same time. but I feel honored to have received all of the awards that I have received.
Right. And now with these awards, you did receive some money that you'll be using as you start your career off in school. So where are you going and what's your major?
I will attend Georgia State and my major is biology.
All right. So what are you hoping to get with your biology bachelor's degree?
After I obtain my bachelor's degree, I will attend medical school and study pediatrics.
Okay. So you want to work with the kids. So sweet. And now, we've seen like a lot of chaos going on in the world right now. And, becoming a queen, it's not just about the crown or the sash. You have a role to uphold as well. To some of the younger girls, you've become a role model. What is the sort of example you're trying to leave for these young girls?
For younger girls, I want to exhibit confidence for them, show them that they can do anything they put their mind to, and always love yourself, because there's only one you, so why not be the best you? Don't be scared to do what you want to do. Love yourself, and just enjoy your life while you can.
I love that. And thank you so much, Taylor. Thank
you.
At Morris Bank, we understand that your personal finances and banking experiences can be stressful. We also know that it doesn't have to be that way. That's why for over 60 years, we've dedicated ourselves to providing common sense banking to people just like you. We work hard to combine the latest online mobile technology and top-notch customer service that allows us to do just that.
We realize our customers have choices, but what sets us apart is the personal service that we provide that they may not receive at larger institutions. We like to make you feel at home, and we like to make the process as easy as possible when you're banking with us.
But we're not focused on helping just our customers. We are equally dedicated to supporting the community we are a part of. Just this year alone, we've logged thousands of community service hours and provided significant financial support to the communities we serve. We want to make sure you have the best banking experience possible. Come see us or give us a call to find out what makes Morris Bank different, because we're banking on you.
All right, everyone, I have with me Miss Piper Zellner. She was most talented in the Miss Black Dublin 2018. How are you today, Piper?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm all right, thank you. And now you are a graduated senior also from Dublin High School, and you were also on the tennis team. So how was your senior year wrapping up with not only the academics, but athletics as well?
So our tennis season came to a strict halt. Like, we couldn't practice. I remember them saying that we had to stop all practice for a short amount of time, but obviously that came to an end. And as far as my academics, I was basically done with all of them except for just one class, and that one I had to finish up on Google Classroom. So it was stressful. I really wanted to finish out my tennis season and just to get better, but obviously that wasn't the case. So.
Right. Well, I mean, are you still going to continue tennis once you go?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Well, not officially, but I still want to play and hit around and stuff.
All right. So you're planning to go to Georgia Southern in the future, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So are you thinking you might try out for the team, or maybe just kind of do it on the side?
Just do it on the side.
All right. Well, as long as you're doing what you love. And now, so the transition for you from the classroom to having school in the living room, how was that? Was it kind of easy, kind of whatever?
I say it was easy. Majority of my high school career, I did take online courses with dual enrollment at Oconee Fallen Technical College, so it wasn't that big of a transition. It's just I didn't have to get up early anymore, so that's really it.
Yes, I know you definitely love that. That's one perk to having that. So now let's talk about your year in the pageant. You won Most Talented for 2018. How was that for you?
It was really exciting. Usually I'm not, a person to publicly speak or tell my story to a lot of people. And what I did my talent category about was I wrote a poem on confidence. And I wrote about how that's basically the key in everything that you want to be, and how you can't let your appearance overtake your confidence. You have to be confident in yourself, and you have to show people this is who I am, and if you don't like it, that's okay. So.
Now, was this poem written, you said it was written by you, was this written from personal experiences or perhaps someone else?
It was from personal experiences. I usually struggle with my confidence a lot. Like if I don't see myself or take a picture of myself, or if I don't like hear something from someone, I struggle with that a lot. But I've gotten better at it, and especially with the pageant, that helped me a lot because it's not all about how you look, it's how you present yourself and what type of personality that you have that also makes you confident.
I definitely agree with you on that one. And now you were also ranked number 4 with your academics, and as well as Miss Mainor, you did receive some awards too. Let's see if I can name them all. You, of course, won Most Talented for 2018. You also won the 2018 Women on the Move Academic Award. You also received the CME Youth Service Sponsored Talent Award in 2018 too, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you got a lot of awards, so a lot of money. So how are you going to use that going forward towards your academics?
So I'm going to use that towards my tuition. I'm really grateful for the opportunity that was presented to me in these awards. The monetary value was good, but I think that it was, you know, the process of getting it, and somebody really thought that I was good enough to receive these. So I'm really grateful for that, and it will be going towards my school, my tuition.
Awesome, and I definitely will tell you right now, you're gonna need it. That tuition is not a joke.
Yes, ma'am.
And now, tell me, what was the best part about the pageant for you? You know, of course, getting the scholarships and awards, that's a great perk, but like you said, you had fun too, you took on some skills, so what did you enjoy the most?
So I met girls that I didn't really speak to in my school, and I met girls like from West Lawrence and East Lawrence and basically outside of my community, and I thought that that was really good because they taught me a lot about myself, and they taught me a lot about just being nice to others and not being, you know, catty or being rude or whatever. So just learning from different girls and different experiences and what they had to go through also in this pageant, that really helped me out. And also I learned more about public speaking and doing well in front of 100 or so people and just being in the spotlight and people judging you. It's not really as bad as you think it is in the moment, but it'll get better.
Yes, and I definitely agree with you. Being a part of the pageant is definitely a confidence booster, I feel, for a lot of girls. And it seems like it definitely was a confidence booster for you too.
Yes,
you
ma'am.
also enjoyed yourself, which is always a big bonus. And now, you're attending Georgia Southern, so what's going to be your major?
So I'm going to major in biology pre-med.
Okay, so what do you want to do with your degree?
So after Georgia Southern, I want to go to medical school, and I want to, what is it? I don't know if I should use the word practice, but practice obstetrics and gynecology.
Okay, all right. So actually, that's the first. I've never heard someone want to go for gynecologist. I can finally say I know somebody who wants to be a gynecologist. All right. And now, with your, although you don't have the, what people would consider the top spot, but you do have a title as well as being, you know, most talented. You carry yourself a certain way. You have received a sash, but once again, it's not always about the sash. You do have young girls who are looking up to you saying like, wow, she spoke, and you know, because of what she wrote herself, the way she spoke and presented it, you have young girls looking at you saying like, I want to do that when I get older.
Yes,
What
ma'am.
sort of example do you want to leave for these girls?
So for me, I've always been kind of like an underdog kid. Like I've never been in the bottom. Like I've never been in the bottom, but I've never been in the top either. And so I feel like a lot of people, they get discouraged kind of when they're not really seen or heard. And I'm not from this community, so it's kind of hard for me to like get my name out there or whatever. But I want to be an example because a lot of people, I see there's a lot of people like me, and I just want to show them that you can be who you are, you can be wherever you're from, you can just be from a different origin, and you can still be in the same spot that everybody else is. You don't have to try to do the most or try to act a certain way to fit in with everybody.
And did you find that out from trying to fit in, or did you just say, hey, that's not what I want to do?
I found that out from, I guess, my middle school, going like from middle school into like 9th grade year of high school. I found out my friends, and I found out like how to deal with certain people, how to deal with people who bully you, who talk about you. And yeah, that's basically from personal experience.
Yeah, and that's the best way to take it. A lot of great authors and writers, poets, what they write about comes from personal experiences. So is this something that you might want to pursue as, you know, something on the side, or is it just something you kind of do?
Well, on the side, I do some modeling, and that I guess that's a part of the whole confidence and showing like who you are. But when they ask you who you are as a person, then that's really a story that I'll be able to tell.
Awesome, and thank you so much. We're going to take a short break, and I'll be back with both girls.
Summer's here and we're at Roach Farm and Garden. Time to treat your feet. We have a full line of Georgia boots and a new shipment of Twisted X boots and shoes. And while you're getting your boots, grab a pair or two of Carhartt pants. Make your honey happy, our greenhouse stays full with new shipments of plants every day. From your yard, small garden, or 1,000-acre farm. Roach Farm and Garden carries all your seeds, fertilizer, pest, and weed control supplies. Special projects around the house or farm? Roach Farm and Garden has all your bolts, screws, nails, welding, and electrical and plumbing supplies. Don't forget, we have a full line of pet supplies and feed for anything from chickens all the way to horses. While you're in, check out our new batch of bunnies. So come check us out at Roach Farm and Garden, 2 locations, Dublin and Wrightsville.
Hello everyone, I'm back in studio. Now I have with me both Piper and Taylor. Ladies, we're still doing good, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Awesome. Now girls, as we've seen a lot in the media today, the world is getting a little hard to look at. We see so much going on with the young as well as the old. There's just a lot of chaos. With the sashes you carry, the roles you now have, how are you using your power, your platform, to show not only young girls but the youth in general the ways that they can also stand up and use their voices to be heard? I'll start with you, Taylor.
I encourage all youth to be resilient in everything and speak up about how you feel, because your voice matters too. Even though older people might try to count you out, your voice matters, your opinion matters, and you should say how you feel because you're entitled to your opinions.
Piper?
So for me, usually that stems off of my social media account. I usually do express my opinion on there, and I encourage others to express their opinion, because social media is such a huge thing in our community today, and especially with the whole COVID-19 crisis, you can't really talk to anybody else unless it's through social media. So with everything that's going on in the world, I just encourage young girls just like myself, and other people, even if they're not, you know, in that situation, that they can still be heard, even through social media or through an app or through text or anything.
Right. And a lot of the days, this technologically advanced world that we live in, young people such as ourselves, we find it easier to communicate through Instagram, Twitter, a lot of these outlets. So how have you been able to communicate, you know, not only with friends but other individuals? Is it easier to communicate through this?
It's way easier.
I think so, it is.
All right, now. And what have you done so far in your roles as, you know, most talented, as well as Miss Black Dublin 2019? Have you been able to take the roles that you have and been able to, you know, voice your concerns and opinions to the community as well?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
And how have you done that? Just, was it easier through social media or being
It's
out there?
definitely easier through social media, but before COVID hit, I was able to participate and give back to the community a lot with my title and different events that the community hosted. So giving my opinion and condolences was something that was definitely easier for me to do.
Mm-hmm. I definitely agree. Sometimes it's being behind the screen. A lot of people call it cowardly, but it depends on how you use your power.
Yes.
A lot of times it can be used as a source of information, a way you can reach out to others, share stuff. It's through using, and it seems like you girls are using it the way I would sort of use it, using it as a sort of guide for some people is definitely what's going to be very beneficial in the future.
Yes, ma'am.
And now tell me, we've seen a lot of, like, once again, chaos. We've even had a protest here in downtown. I'm not sure if you're aware. But what is your opinion on this? Like, do you believe this is like a positive outlet? Because we haven't had any riots here, fortunately. But how do you feel about these?
So I feel like with the riots, I'm not against the protests or anything, because that's the only, I feel like honestly, if it's not social media, how else are you going to get heard? And I don't agree with the fact that somebody who's in the place of authority could just take somebody else's life like that and then be okay with the whole system and everything. It's just not right. And I think that what everybody's doing across the whole world is people in Germany, like Italy and stuff, they're still protesting. I think that's one of the ways globally that this thing can change in the system.
I feel as if the protests are a good thing, and I feel that it shouldn't have taken this long and shouldn't have taken all the looting and riots for voices to be heard, and it shouldn't have taken another life for voices to be heard. It's heartbreaking, but seeing change is the positive aspect of it all. But hopefully, even though you can't change people's hearts, you can't change everybody's hearts, but maybe people will actually realize the seriousness of everything that's been occurring right now.
I agree. And now, I want you both to answer this one for me. With some protests, we've seen a lot of them are peaceful, but we see when it comes later on the night, that's when we see a lot of the rioting happens. What would you want to say to the peaceful protesters as well as the rioters? Do we think that the peaceful protesters are doing right? Should they do more? Do we think the rioters are doing right? Should they do less? What do we believe?
So, like I said before, I'm one of the people, like, it's not a radical opinion, but I do agree with the rioting. Not so much of the looting, because I mean, I don't see what's the point in taking from a store, but I do agree with the rioting and the peaceful protests, because by day they're peaceful. Nobody's gonna just go out and start breaking up something. But I've seen a lot of the reports and everything say that the people who are the ones that are rioting and breaking things and looting aren't the ones that's really for the movement. They're the ones that's trying to make it seem like they're a part of it, but it's making us seem bad. And that's not something I agree with, but I do think that both would lead to a positive outcome.
For me, I feel that the peaceful protesters, I appreciate what they're doing and they're making a change. And for the rioters, for me personally, the riots now aren't like the Detroit riots, like the businesses and schools and everything that's being destroyed. Like back in like 1957, I think, in Detroit, most businesses were owned, white owned, so that's why the riots were like starting and whatever. But now I feel that there's a whole bunch of black businesses and other minority businesses that exist, and minorities work at these other businesses that have been destroyed and by the riots. And I also feel that the people that are rioting, like Piper said, were like people that weren't even there for the actual movement, and they don't know the history behind why we're doing what we're doing at this time. So I feel like they're taking advantage of something that's like really serious and close to people's hearts, and I disagree with that.
Right, so you see them using it, a lot of people using these riots as a sort of cover for themselves to really just go out and cause their own form of chaos.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and I definitely agree. Well, ladies, as we also know that upcoming soon will be Juneteenth, which is sort of like our Independence Day.
Mm-hmm.
Do you ladies plan to celebrate in any sort of way, or how are we going to take advantage of this?
A cookout.
You can never go wrong with a good cookout.
A cookout, definitely.
So cookout, definitely. All right, ladies. Well, thank you so much for stopping by the studio to speak with us. Once again, congratulations to you, both of you, and I hope we get to see you guys prosper real soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.